Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of NKA, only on Afia TV, on DSTV channel 254, Go TV channel 17, and Free TV channel 748. My name is Chinedu Anichi, also known as Nalu Kings, your host tonight. You knew that already, but it makes sense that I always remind you who I am. And you know what time it is? It's NKA, where we hold conversations with creatives, people who are doing inspiring things in their different niches, and we can learn one or two things or 100 things from their stories, and we can apply some of these things to our own personal lives, right? That's why we have NKA. That's what NKA lives for. I'm particularly excited that this is the end of the week. Means that I have so many things planned for my weekend, and I can explore everything. And I mean everything. I hope you have the same plans for yourself. I hope it doesn't involve you staying in your house, because over here, I am a preacher of having fun, right? We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, I'll introduce to you our guest tonight. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to NKA. My name is Chinedu Anichi, also known as Nalu Kings. And like I said, NKA is where we hold conversations with inspiring people who are doing whether big or small things in their, their niches, and we can learn something from their stories, things that worked for them, things we can apply into our personal lives. Tonight, just like every other night on NKA, we have someone who is also inspiring. And I like to think you and I know this person, especially if you have watched a couple of films on Netflix, emphasis on Netflix. So if you've watched a couple of films on Netflix, you will know this person. This person is a dynamic voice in global media. He's an actor, entrepreneur, and host of African Voice in Diaspora. He's a Nollywood Hollywood actor with films on Netflix. He is known for playing the chief security officer in Linda Ikeji's Dark October in Netflix. Remember when I said, if you watch movies on Netflix, then you know this person. He played the chief security officer in Linda Ikeji's Dark October, which is available on Netflix. That was the movie of the month, or months at some point on Netflix. It was on everybody's lips, on everybody's mouth. I watched it to one extent, but that's okay. He was also in Hollywood's Atlanta Avenue, which is available on YouTube. He has served as associate executive producer on some projects, and he currently runs a YouTube TV called Chinedu Anichi TV. So now you know the name. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody watching the sound, watching all over Nigeria, please join me and make welcome our guest tonight, Chinedu Anichi. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Oh, thank you so much. It's not everybody that pronounces that name correctly, the way it should be pronounced, and you did justice to that. Thank you so much. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good.
That's good to know. Joining all the way from Abuja. How's Abuja doing this night?
I'm good. Abuja is good. The weather is clement. And the environment is receptive.
Oh, right. Good to know. It's amazing, and it's an absolute honor to have you on NKA this night. NKA, like I said, is where we hold conversations with creatives, people who are inspiring. And one of the interesting and inspiring things about you is that you played the chief security officer in Linda Ikeji's Dark October on Netflix. Could you take us on a trip down memory lane, how that role happened? You mentioned something to me when we had you on the Nollywood show previously. You said that people bullied you after you featured in that role, probably because, you were the one that instigated the burning of those boys in the film. So people hated you for playing that character so much. And I told you, I think that's because you delivered on that role perfectly, right? So let's take a trip down memory lane, how you got the role, how you executed your character. Just give us a bit of information on all of that.
Okay. That's 2021. Yes, I think around October. So
Okay.
I was called by, I want to give credit to who brought me to the show. I don't know Linda Ikeji before.
Okay.
I only hear, but I've not met her. I've not done any business with her. But the president of Actors Guild of Nigeria,
Okay.
Enugu State Branch, is Ene, you know, and Mr. Ene Brown summoned me and said I should come up. There's a role for me. But previously, there's a movie called, I've forgotten the name, but there's this movie that I went for, and I did I was the one in charge of security in that movie,
Okay.
scene and location. You understand? And after that, the person who directed that very movie is Magbaro, Toka Magbaro.
Okay.
And the same Toka Magbaro directed Dark October.
Oh,
So
yes,
when they
yes.
thought of the person who can do a security kind of movie, no, so they just said, let us invite him to come and do. You don't need to even direct him. Just let him do those things he knows how to do. So that is how I came into that movie. It's Brown Wene that now recommended me to the director, Toka Magbaro, and now called me. Yes, it was during the time they used to have lockdown. That time you don't go out. So I acted in dual capacity. I was the SSA security to the governor of Enugu State. I was in charge of security in the state. So I also, in dual capacity, I was protecting them in that
okay.
in that location, and also I played a role. Some of the other roles that maybe my boys and members of the civil were really my boys working with me in the state security. So that's how it happened.
Oh, wow. Recommendations. And this goes to saying a big shout out to the president of Actors Guild of Nigeria in Enugu back then, Brown. And thank you so much for recommending Chinedu Anichi for that particular role, and he delivered on it. That's why people are angry at him, because he delivered on it. But then let's talk about the character you portrayed in that particular film, the character you portrayed there, right? You said people were bullying you, they were so angry and that sort of thing, because the storyline of the film, it's very emotional, right? It's very emotional. 4 boys in uniports that were burnt, that sort of thing. So when people see it, they always have, should I say, a personal bias to whoever is causing for those boys to be burnt. But I don't know, did you have to do any special thing to bring your character to life? Did you have to go through some personal, did you go through prayers? Did you do anything special to bring the character of that chief security officer in the film to life?
No. You know, I've had experience of security for more than 2 decades.
Okay.
Not just that, I'm somebody who's born and bred in the hood. So I really know what it means to be a security person in the hood and the conventional one. So I had experience. Okay. So that is number one. And another thing is that it was a big thing, and it was a privilege given to me, just like I gave credit to Brown and Magbaro, Oka. So it was opportunity for me to shine. So I brought out my best. So I was consumed in the role. While I was doing it, I was really feeling like the man who did it. And I wanted to do it. Because there was the rationale behind the movie is a campaign against jungle justice. So I really wanted to bring out in all nudity, you know, the incarcerating or excruciating part of the emotional impact of that brutality shown in the movie. Yeah. So I really want to show it so that people will really know that it is bad and condemnable to go into jungle justice.
Yes, yes. Well done. Really, really well done on that. But let's take a trip down memory lane, way back from when you resolved in your heart and in your mind that I think I want to go into acting. So, how did that happen for you? Did you just stumble into acting? How did you find your path into acting? What happened that you chose and decided that you wanted to be an actor?
Yeah, I believe that, I don't know what is happening now. A lot of rascalities are being shown in the Nollywood and movie. You understand? But I have had opportunities to be under the tutelage of very wonderful legends like Peter Dochie, like Nkemo, like a lot of people are mentioned, like Tony Wonwick. All these people were people that I had tutelage under them. We saw movie and Kanayo too, who is a big uncle. So we saw movie as a gospel. We saw actors as agents of morality, as people, you understand, who conditions people's character and behavioral pattern, especially in consideration of the socio-economic effect of the environment found ourselves in Nigeria. So there were moral agents. So I saw myself that another way of preaching the gospel is to act.
Okay.
So that's why I joined the movie industry.
Oh, wow. As a way to, should I call it preach in quotes, preach the gospel of whatever it was that you believed in. That's really cool. But I wanted you to go in depth on that, right? Do you remember the first movie you acted? Do you remember of course you remember going for auditions? Just take us on a trip down memory lane, how the whole experience was for you.
Let me shock you. And to the glory of God, because I'm nothing. Because the nature of man proves his imperfection. I'm nothing. To the glory of God, I have never been to any audition.
Are you serious?
Even in the Hollywood, I have never been to any audition.
Oh, wow. Impressive.
I'm telling you.
Impressive.
From the first movie, it was just, Chinedu, can you do this? Yes, I can do it.
Oh, wow.
I have never been to any audition. Even that Linda Ikeji movie I did that October, the audition was done in Lagos and then I was never there.
Wow. So you would say that probably says a lot about your craft, how good you are at what you do, yes?
Yeah, demonstrating of humility. I know, I want to say by grace, because everybody has his own pace.
Yes.
You understand? So I like bringing divinity in what I do, because it will always show superiority over humanity. I am nothing, but I'm very good in whatever I choose to do. I am very good. I don't choose things randomly. But if my temperament, if I choose to do a particular thing, I like doing it very, very well.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I think I have done my best in all the roles I had, in all the movies I'm doing.
Okay. So we've established something. We've established that since you started acting, you've never had to audition for a role. So let's take it back to the first movie you featured in. Do you remember the first movie you acted in? Do you remember the first?
Yes.
What was the movie? What was it about?
The Two Eye of the Door.
How long ago was this?
Years ago, I can't remember first, so let me not say what I'm not sure. I don't want to put myself out of context.
Okay.
Because social media will always stay. So I don't want to. So
I understand.
if you are not sure, say you are not sure. And so, but it's years ago. And the director of the movie was J.P. Wanganga.
Oh, J.P. Wanganga. Okay.
J.P. directed. So that's why up to today, if you go to my phone, I stored his number with my producer. You understand? Wow. I respect him so much because of that movie. And the first time I was featured with Kanayo.
Okay.
And I did well.
Of course you did.
And that day, Kanayo said, you will go far in moving them. He said it. Chinedu, you will go far. You know?
Yeah, I understand. That's pretty cool. It gives us a sense of, when someone we admire, someone we look up to, says those kind of things to us, it reminds us that we're on the right path. Honestly, whenever those things happen, it reminds us, I made the right decision being here. I deserve to be here. I am good at what I do. So I understand Kanayo telling you those words. But have you always wanted to be an actor? Did you wanted to study something else, or acting just came through a dream you had and the Lord said, move into acting, my son, and you found yourself there?
No, when we talk of, I'm a multi-talented person.
Okay.
Without sounding immodest, I'm a multi-talented person. And I've always grabbed an opportunity given to me anytime, no matter how slightly the offer is. And I try to maximize it. So that is what I understood. When I was doing acting before, I never saw myself as somebody who will continue to act. But I said, since this thing, I'm called to do this, let me do it well, so that if it keeps coming, I keep moving.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that is how, if I didn't say I had a voice from anywhere, no voice told me to go and become an actor. I tried it out. Success is, they say 92%, is there 98% aspiration and 2% inspiration.
Okay. I'm going to have to write that down. 98% aspiration and 2% inspiration. Okay. Thank you for that one, Mr. Chinedu. That's really good, right? But I also want to know, let's go back to Hollywood. I want to know how you were able to venture into Hollywood, right? How did that happen for you? What caused it?
The Dark October, that Linda Ikeji film, man, gave me a facelift. This is a movie they watched in 130 countries. This is a movie that was #1 for many days in Netflix. Do you understand? So my face and the role I played is what made the movie. You understand? And because of that, I got the recognition of
IMDb, okay.
Yeah. So I was profiled and recognized for Dark October. So when I was in the US, I went to an African restaurant to eat. And I didn't want to act in US. I was already doing another thing because I was busy with my family. So I don't even have time to go for auditions. Even though I received some awards, I encourage movies, I talk about movie stars, I bring them to my show. But that day, I went to an African restaurant to eat in Old National in Atlanta. And I met a lady who is a musician, Katrina Banks, a Jamaican born but an American citizen, a big musician. She walked into that place, unnoticed, and I didn't know who she was. And she said she's eating the food for the first time. Started asking me, how do they prepare this? I was answering her humbly. At the time, she got up, but I noticed that there are some bouncers outside. So at the time, she asked me, what do you do? What came to my mind is to tell her, I'm a movie star. They said, how? I said, okay, put my name in Google. Immediately he saw now that Dark October in IMDb. And he said, oh, are you acting? I said, I've not acted since I came here. It's okay. Do you mind meeting one director? I said, if you take me. He said, come on Friday. That was a Tuesday. On Friday, he took my number. And he took me to Drizzle Dollar, the man who is the producer of Atlanta Avenue.
Okay.
And when we came there, that particular day, they are already set to start filming. So they brought me there and said, this guy is an African, and they don't have an African in that the whole of the set. No African person is there. They now say, this person is an African, and he has done a movie that is like this, and there is an IMDb.
Right.
And they now told me, yeah, so you have been doing that. I said, yes. Say, can you do this role? But in the role, people, you will cry. I said, I can cry, even here. It's a big opportunity for me, Hollywood. I said, I can cry even here. We laughed and he said, cry, let's see. Man, I just took my mind to one of the things that helped me. Like, I started crying.
Oh, wow.
And they said, man, you know how these people, they don't waste time when they conclude things. They say, hey, this is good. They say, can you be can you be on set today? I said, yes, sir. The same day they took me to that place, do you know I did a movie? I did a role. I was on set. This is how I started.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, this is you know, I think the word is, you know, some people say sometimes it's being at the right place at the right time. You were in a restaurant and then a lady walks in and starts asking you questions, and then you answer her questions, and then she asks you what you do, and then you respond, she Googles you, and then she's offering you to come for a movie shoot that weekend. That's massive. And some people, it doesn't always work like that for some people. So it's always, and should I say these things are luck? I don't know if I should use luck for them, because I mean, that day you could have eaten any other place. You could have had dinner, lunch, any other restaurant, but you were in that Jamaican restaurant that day and you met that woman, and hallelujah. Congratulations on that, by the way, Mr. Chinedu. Congratulations. Are there any, apart from Atlanta Avenue, are we expecting any new projects from you when it comes to Hollywood?
There's one already. I don't want to mention it there.
Okay.
So there was an instruction that we don't mention it because it's a blockbuster and there's a way they want to.
Okay.
They're coming out in the next 2 months. We already started. I've done some. If Smith is in the show, a lot of people who is in the show. These are very outstanding American actors,
okay.
And Boogie is in the show, and some other people.
All right.
So I've been part of that particular thing, and it will be coming out maybe in the next 2 months because they are taking time.
It's coming soon, 2 months. That's fast. We're looking forward to that. Please let us know when it's out so we can cheer you on and probably watch it if it's going to be available in Nigeria or YouTube or anywhere, either way. Okay. And I understand you have been living in the US for a long time, right? You've been living in the US for a long time, and I don't know how you were able to also merge Nollywood and Hollywood productions. Were you traveling back to Nigeria a lot for you to feature in films?
No, the issue is that I started with Nollywood.
Okay.
So the extent that I was opportunity to become the Chief Task Force of Actors Guild of Nigeria.
Okay.
So, you know, I've been given an award also by Nollywood and Hollywood in collaboration, what we call Actors Marketplace. They came November 2nd last year. I had an award from there in California, Los Angeles. So, and several other awards from Igbo producers, from Guild of Producers of Nigeria. Different people have been giving me an award. Because I don't only act, I support.
Okay.
With the little I have, I support the guild. I support young talents that want to act. So, while I started here, I now navigated to the US.
Okay.
But I'm a very traditional conscious person. I don't forget my roots. So I have always done, even in America, I know that I cannot beat the Americans in what they do. So each time, I always suggest for my director, give me a role like an immigrant or an African. So that I can do it well, so that I don't start speaking, I want to go, I want to come, I want to this.
Okay, I see. So you would rather...
Role, I would do it very, very well.
I understand. So you would rather do traditional roles that remind you of your identity as an African, rather than do roles where you have to speak an American accent and delve into the American culture.
Even if, like the Atlanta Avenue is about street, is gun running.
Okay.
But came in as an African who was not part of the gang, but came in and now influenced to join the gang. So I was still, even in the movie, I kept saying, I'm an African. I don't do this kind of thing. I'm an African. I was always saying it. I want anything I'm doing, and I refer to my roots. I don't joke with where I come from.
Okay. So if the money was good, and you were required to switch into that wanna like you called it, would you do it?
Yeah, I can do it for money. But if I have, if the same amount is given to two options, like the other one is African job, I'll take Africa, even in a lesser amount.
Okay.
Because it's not, my own is not just about making the money. It's about creating legacies that my two beautiful girls can get up tomorrow and watch.
Okay, I see where that is coming from. But
yes.
what do you make of people that how do I put it now? You know, there are people who travel, leave the country, and honestly, they lose themselves. They abandon the culture and a bunch of other things, even when it comes to entertainment. What do you think about them? Do you for you're particular about preserving it, you're particular about taking roles that remind you who you are. But people who do not tilt towards that direction, do you think they're making a big mistake? Do you think preserving one's culture is ultimate?
It's not just a small mistake. It is a generational mistake. Generational, because they are alienating their generation from their foundation. You see, a lot of things that people have gone abroad, very morally and virtuous tendencies that Africa has inculcated in them, and they go there and start learning what they don't know. You understand? What they don't know. I've been an advocate of sustaining African traditional values anywhere you are. So if you go abroad and allow your children to twist their tongue, you don't teach them anything about Africa, you have just succeeded in losing those kids. A time will come when you get old, they won't even think of coming here. There are things that can sustain kids. That's what I'm doing with my own. Nobody is perfect, but I'm doing my own. After doing my role, then God will finish the other one. If in future, I will tell myself, I've done my best. I'm from Osuka. My kids are in America and they speak Osuka as I'm talking to you.
Interesting.
Yes, even you go to my Facebook, you see my daughters coming to my show to speak Osuka for that kids to learn. You understand? So if you keep children away from the kind of traditional food their people eat and the language of their people, you have lost that generation. Like in my house, we eat arebo, we eat echicha. I'm from Soka, we eat ayaraya. I know it's good in UNN, you know all these things. We eat it in the United States. My kids eat it. My kids eat ofo, they eat egusi. So, and they're grown with it. They eat okpa, we prepare okpa in Atlanta.
Instead of burger and chips and Indian.
So, if you are burgering so much, and your children get used to burger, now you sabi.
Right. That's quite an eye-opener, Mr. Chinedu. That's quite an eye-opener, because I personally ask myself questions. There's this lady on TikTok who tries to speak Igbo. Whilst the Igbo comes out very funny, she's trying. She said when they were growing up, her parents did not speak Igbo at all to them. The dad, the mom, when they were growing up in America, they didn't speak it at all. But it was when her grandmother would visit, she ensured she was always speaking it. So that was how she learned a thing or two. And it breaks my heart that I don't know why some parents do that. I'm very particular about culture as well. I think the reason why some kids travel, or maybe kids who are born there become, in quotes, Americanized, is because the parents didn't do their due diligence to ensure that who the children are from birth did not leave them. They didn't try to inculcate their culture and everything with them. I love what you're doing with your acting and with your family, ensuring that the African, the Nigerian values do not die. Is that what you do with your show, African Voices in Diaspora? Is that what you do there? Yes. Tell us a bit about that.
When I went to America, I thought of what can I do to give back to the Africa where I come from.
Okay.
Because life is all about giving back. And I know that the media is a place, especially the social media, is a place that a lot of values, a lot of information, constructive and destructive, can be conveyed to a great audience.
Yeah.
That's how I established the TV. First of all, I started in a small scale. I want to represent our people. I first of all called it Otobo Nsukka. Otobo means village square, the village square of Nsukka. I started with Nsukka alone. Then God started blessing me, and the sagacity was extended, and the coast was being extended. Then I saw now that it's not just a Nsukka thing, but it's an African thing. That's why we call it African Voice in Diaspora.
Oh wow, that's really good. That's really good. I am, if I should use these words, I am so proud of you, Mr. Chinedu. I am so proud of you. And the conversation so far has been enlightening. It's been an eye opener, right? But we have more to unveil as we go far. But let us hold on a little bit with that. This has been so good. This has been so fun. It has been what is it called? It's been a teachable moment for us. I don't know about you, but for me, it's also been a teachable moment. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation with Chinedu Anichi. Don't go anywhere.
It's time to rise to victory because season 10 is here.
Hey! That you did not come and greet.
I'm coming for the crown.
Nigerian Idol needs to bang. You're actually my idol. And say yes from me. That was good.
I'm here for a revenge.
I'm speechless.
10 seasons of unforgettable talent.
That's the best performance I've had today.
10 seasons of breathtaking performances. And this year, we celebrate the journey like never before.
I'm actually speechless.
I love you.
You're a superstar.
This is more than a competition. It's a celebration of music, passion, and dreams. It's your voice and your victory. Don't miss the biggest season yet. Nigerian Idol Season 10.
Sponsored by Biggie for every moment.
With United Nigeria Airlines, every destination tells a story of unity and strength in the skies. Enjoy a curated selection of meals and beverages, seamless entertainment options, and personalized service designed to make every journey memorable. Planning your next trip has never been easier. With our user-friendly mobile app, you can book flights, manage your itinerary, and even check in right at your fingertip. Rely on our commitment to on-time departures, safety, and reliability, ensuring you arrive at your destination hassle-free. Unite how you unite. Fly United Nigeria Airlines.
Welcome back to NKA. My name is Chinedu Anichi, also known as Nalo Kings. If you were just joining us, I do not know what to say to you, but it's been an interesting conversation with the actor Chinedu Anichi. He has unveiled a couple of things about how he started in the industry, how he featured in the Netflix production Dark October in 2021, and how he tries to not lose himself as a Nigerian living abroad, what he does and how he contributes his own quota to ensuring that the Nigerian and African values do not die. He does this by ensuring that his family still speak the language that he's known for, eats the food of Nigerians, does his own part to ensuring that he remains a Nigerian through and through, both in his movies and his way of life. And that's a beautiful thing. If you're not taking anything from this show, I hope you take the fact that you should not lose yourself. You do not lose who you are wherever you go. So thank you so much, Mr. Chinedu, for everything you have said on this show. So let's take the conversation up to a couple of other things in the industry, in Nollywood, right? You've been acting for quite some time now. Do you maybe want to tell us, it's not even a maybe because you are on the show, you will tell us, are there any differences you've noticed from, could you share differences you've noticed between Nollywood of then and Nollywood now? Are there things you've noticed? Do you think they are good? Do you think they are bad kind of difference or a good kind of difference? So what have you noticed?
Yes, just like I told you initially, the Nollywood of those days, the Kanaya, the Sophia Dam, the Ibus and all these things, the acting was a calling, was a vocation. It was an avenue, a tool for communicating values and morality to the society. You understand me?
Yeah.
They were moral agents. Acting was not based on how much do you make. But this time, they don't just act. They just look for somebody who has a big part of her body that will be attracted to people. And she will be going up and down and even looking straight to the camera. The craft is not there. What happens now is people come to showcase whatever. There are two different things. You take time in movie sets to produce something, cross T's and dot I's. This time, because of YouTube money, you will see that a movie can be produced in a day. A movie that you start watching, and while you look at it, there's no suspense. You can already guess where it's going to end.
What is going to happen.
That is not the Nollywood we used to know. Even though I want to respect the administration of Dr. Emeka Rollas. Emeka Rollas is trying to redefine or bring back Nollywood to status quo. That's the president of Actors Guild of Nigeria. Yes, Dr. Emeka Rollas, MON.
Don't you think that whatever movie directors and movie producers are doing now, it's because of the change that we've experienced, right? They say change is constant, and from 20 years, 25 years, 30 years ago, and right now, and in recent years, a couple of things have changed. Even the technology which is used to shoot these movies have changed. The way people consume movies have changed. Before, we used to go and I was in the era when we used to hire films, when we used video tapes, right? I witnessed that era. Even the era where posters would be on vehicles and you would want to go watch them. I witnessed those era. But right now, movies are available on YouTube, on Prime Video, on Netflix, and all that. So that means that they have to be strategic about these things, right? If they have to add someone that has a big behind to sell their market, they have to do it. If they have to add someone with a bit of an accent to drive their narrative, they may have to do that. Don't you think you can at least give them a pass for that?
Yeah, Chinedu. If I'm not saying anything, let me tell you, you're a very articulate and intelligent young lady.
Okay.
So, and how you come up with your journalism, your journalistic tendencies is wonderful and worthy of recommendation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Having said that, I want to tell you that change does not happen to the real substance. That's what we call substance. Things can change. Yeah? You can change, you can use cassava to do abacha.
Okay.
You can use cassava to do gari. You can use cassava to do aribo in my place. Or Akpu, Santana now. You know what is Santana?
Yes.
But the original substance is what? Cassava. No matter the change it has undergone. So it's the original substance that we are talking about. The original substance, what the liquidity, the essence. See, the essence of making a movie is to correct certain things in the society. That's where I'm driving to. It's not about the technology. It's not about the kind of, the kind of avenues of whereby the movies are shown now. It's about the essence. It's about attitudes. It's about behavioral patterns, character formations required of a Nollywood actor. Is it still there? You can see Nkemu. We don't need to do anything special for people to know that he's a legend.
True.
Peter Doche don't need to do anything special. Sometimes he doesn't even cope with his head. But once he opens his mouth, you see the legend. You gather the speak. But you can see what is going everywhere now. That is not Nollywood.
Okay, Mr. Chinedu, I would love to, press further, ask, give you back, like, what do you think? What about this? What about that? But there are many other things we have to discuss on this show and about him. We wanted to discuss more on the Nollywood show the last time, but time is always an issue. So one day would pick out a special day and we'll just delve into core Nollywood, ask the questions that need to be asked and see what you think about all of that, okay? So thank you for responding to that question. But I also want to know, is there any role in the industry that you want to play that you have not played in? Any role you want to act that you have not been given the opportunity to act it? You haven't seen someone asking you to come and play that role. Is there any role like that?
Yes.
Oh, what role is that?
I have not been opportune. I've always played the bad boy.
Oh.
And this. So, and even when people were bullying me and those medicine, I wrote on my Facebook and said, let somebody give me the role of a reverend father.
Okay. Okay.
That I will do it in such a way that they can now use it to dilute the kind of,
character they've been giving you since. Yeah.
So I want somebody who will give me like the bishop of a cathedral or
a pastor,
a man of God who God has used to rescue,
hallelujah,
to rescue generations. I want to go evangelical.
I see it too. I see it. It reminds me of a conversation we had sometime about typecasting in the industry, typecasting in Nollywood. Some people have been given one particular role their entire lives, being in the industry, playing bad boy, rich man, all the time.
That's why everywhere. Can I go? The show is a
ritualist. Yes. In fact,
sacrifice.
Yes. In fact, someone said. He doesn't think, in fact, it's not even a thought or a think thing. I have not seen a movie where Olu Jacobs acted as a poor man. I have not seen a movie where he acted as a poor man. He's always a rich man in his movies, right? So I think the industry and everyone, casting directors, we want to see people diversify. We want to see people take on fresh personalities. So we see their range. We can't judge they are excellent actors if they keep getting the same roles over and over again. And I would love to see you as a pastor, as a man of God. Hallelujah. Oh God.
Amen.
When it happens, please do not hesitate to tell me. Biko.
I'll tell you.
Anybody, casting directors, anybody watching and listening to us, please, we want to see Chinedu Anichi as a pastor, a reverend father, a bishop, however you want to do it. Please do it and make it possible for us. Please, we beg of you, right? So it's been such a delight conversing with you this night, Mr. Chinedu. There's so much to ask, there's so much to do, there's just so much, right? But hold on, we're not done, right? So we're going to go on a quick break. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation with Chinedu Anichi. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to NKA. My name is China Lurumogu, as I also known as Nalo Kings, and we've had a really intriguing conversation with Chinedu Anichi, who is an actor, served at the Actors Guild of Nigeria at some point, and was the chief security officer in the film Dark October, which is still available on Netflix. It's been just so good having him here talk about some things in the industry, his life, things he do to preserve the culture and all of that. It's been just so good. You know, I love to talk about film. You know, I love to do that. So, Mr. Chinedu, while we wrap up this conversation with you tonight, we want you to do something for us. We have 4 minutes to end this show. 4 minutes or less, or 3 minutes. I don't know. We have a few minutes to end this show, and we want you to do something, right? So, I'm going to give you... How are they talking? Well, I'm trying to find the term used to call this thing in the acting industry. Okay, I'm going to give you a script, not a script. I'm going to give you a role off my head. I'm going to give you a role, and I expect you to act it out. Okay? Can you do that?
Go ahead.
Okay. You know you're always getting bad boy roles. Now you're going to do lover boy. Hey, Chineke. You're going to do lover boy. This is another role I also want to see you in, right? Pastor, lover boy too. And well, not boy, you're a man. So maybe you're a man and you're in love. Maybe, okay, here's the scene, right? You're a man and you're divorced, and you found a 50-year-old woman who is also divorced, and you like her, but there's been a bit of back and forth. She's suffering from, should I call it insecurities? She feels you would not love her so much because she has kids and all that. So I want you to act a scene where you are assuring her that you love her so much and she should not worry because things are going to turn out fine, that sort of thing. Can you do that?
Yeah, baby girl. I know it's natural that you are insecure.
Have we started already?
I know.
Okay.
I know what you're passing through. Look at me. I've passed through the same thing. I think we are best of a kind in what we do because we have experience. All we need to do is, all I've always done here is to prove for you that I am intentional. For me also to come up with, you know what took me to come up with what I passed through. We are both experienced. We can be better. I assure you of a consolidated and sustained continuity of here.
Wahala. Okay. Thank you.
You don't want to look at my eyes? Eyes are windows where ideas are coming.
I'm not the 50-year-old though, please. I'm not the 50-year-old you are talking to. I beg. I'm just watching you do your thing. Okay? Maybe I would have even asked you to do a one of those chief security.
I would have loved a sugar daddy, man.
Right, sugar daddy. Oh gosh, please, I am pleading on behalf of Mr. Chinedu Anichi. You see sugar daddy roles, you see lover man, you see pastor, these kind of roles, we need you people to cast him as such personalities. Enough with the security and bad boy thug roles. No, please. Let's have another RMD in the industry. You know what I mean? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Chinedu, for being with us on the show. It's been such an insightful conversation with you. You have explained so much about the industry, about your work, and how you try to, not lose yourself while at it, especially as an African living in diaspora. Thank you so much for sharing that part of yourself with us, okay? Thank you. And to our viewers all over Nigeria, all over the world, listening to the sound of our voices tonight, I hope you picked one, two, or 1,000 things from this conversation. And there's this question I want to ask before we call it a night. And the question is, are you losing yourself in diaspora? What are you doing about it? Do you think it's okay for you to change who you are because you're in different environments? Remember, you are African. Remember, you are Nigerian. Whoever it is you are, people should adjust to who you are. Do not try to make yourself like other people, right? That's how you shine. I'm trying to be all motivational. Please, let's not do that here. So thank you so much for staying with us tonight. I hope you had fun, because I definitely did. I'll see you next time. My name is Chinalu Eze, also known as Nalo Kings. Bye.